The wind howled like a pack of wolves closing in for the kill as Eliza Thorne stepped off the stagecoach in the snow-dusted streets of Silver Gulch. Her boots sank into the frozen mud, and she clutched her valise tighter, her gloved fingers numb already. She'd come all the way from Boston to teach in this godforsaken Montana territory, dreaming of shaping young minds on the frontier. But as the first fat flakes of snow began to whirl around her, she felt the chill of something far more sinister than winter's bite. Little did she know, the storm brewing wasn't just in the sky, it was in the heart of the giant man watching her from the saloon porch, his eyes gleaming with a hunger that could devour a woman's soul. Eliza straightened her bonnet, ignoring the leers from the roughnecks lounging against the hitching posts. The town was smaller than she'd imagined, a cluster of weathered wooden buildings hunkered against the looming Rockies. The schoolhouse stood at the end of the main street, a lonely sentinel with a bell tower that swayed ominously in the gusts. She hurried toward it, her breath fogging the air, but a shadow fell across her path. A man, no, a colossus, blocked her way. He towered over her, at least 6'8", with shoulders like a bull and a beard that hid half his scarred face. His coat was patched buffalo hide, and a Colt revolver hung low on his hip, glinting like a promise of violence. "Ma'am," he rumbled, his voice like thunder rolling down the mountains. "You the new schoolmarm? Name's Buck Harlan. Folks round here call me the Giant of Silver Gulch." Eliza's heart skipped. She'd heard whispers on the coach about him, a cowboy turned rancher, owner of the biggest spread in the valley, but with a reputation stained by blood. Rumors of shootouts, lost loves, and a temper that could level a saloon. She nodded curtly. "Yes, Mr. Harlan. Eliza Thorne. If you'll excuse me, I need to settle in before the weather turns." His laugh was a low, menacing chuckle. "Turns? Darlin', it's already turned. Blizzard's comin' faster than a bullet from a bushwhacker. You best get inside quick or accept my offer to ride out to my ranch. Safer there, with walls thick as a fort." "Offer?" The word hung in the air like a noose. She brushed past him, her pulse racing, but as she reached the schoolhouse door, a gust slammed it shut, and snow began to pile up like white death. Inside, the one-room building was barren, a few desks, a potbelly stove, and a cot in the back for the teacher. She lit a fire, but the flames flickered weakly against the encroaching cold. Outside, the world blurred into a white frenzy. The stagecoach had left, stranding her alone in this trap of timber and ice. By nightfall, the blizzard raged with fury, winds screaming through cracks in the walls. Eliza huddled under a thin blanket, her teeth chattering. That's when the pounding came, fists like hammers on the door. She froze, her mind flashing to tales of outlaws raiding in storms. "Who's there?" she called, her voice trembling. "Buck Harlan." The door burst open, snow exploding inward like shrapnel. He filled the frame, his massive form dusted white, eyes wild. "Schoolmarm, town's cut off. Roads are gone. But my ranch is up the ridge, got supplies, heat. Come with me now, or you'll freeze solid by mornin'. She backed away, glancing at the window where visibility was zero. I can't. It's improper. I'll manage." His gaze hardened, a storm within the storm. "Improper? Lady, death don't care about propriety. And I ain't leaving you here to die." He stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. "Marry me. Right now. That's my offer. Be my wife, and I'll get you out alive." The words hit her like a slap from the wind. Marry him? This brute she just met? Shock coursed through her veins, suspending time. But the cold was biting deeper, and outside, a howl promised oblivion. What hidden motives lurked in his bold proposition? Was it salvation or a deeper trap? Eliza's mind reeled as Buck loomed over her, his breath steaming in the frigid air. Marriage? To a man whose hands looked capable of crushing skulls? She'd fled Boston to escape a stifling engagement to a banker who saw her as a trophy, seeking adventure in the West. But this was madness. "You're insane," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the blizzard's roar. "I don't know you. Why would you?" Buck's eyes softened for a flicker, revealing a vulnerability that shocked her more than his size.
Because I've been watching for a woman like you. Strong, educated.
My ranch needs a lady, not just hired hands.
And this storm? It's a sign. Fate's trapping us together.
He pulled a small Bible from his coat pocket, its edges worn. Preacher snowed in, but I can swear on this. Vows before God, till we make it official. Suspense gripped her chest like icy fingers.
Refuse, and risk freezing alone? Accept, and bind herself to a stranger with secrets?
The stove's fire sputtered out, plunging the room into deeper chill. She nodded, her lips blue.
Fine. But only to survive. Get me out of here. Buck's grin was triumphant, but something dark flashed in his eyes. Regret? Or deceit?
He wrapped her in his massive coat and hoisted her onto his horse, a beast as enormous as he. They plunged into the white void, snow lashing like whips. The ride was a nightmare, visibility nil, the horse stumbling through drifts. Eliza clung to Buck's back, feeling his heat through the layers, her mind racing with doubts.
What if he was an outlaw? What if this ranch was a hideout? Hours blurred into eternity until lights pierced the gloom. A sprawling log cabin, barns huddled nearby.
Inside, warmth enveloped her like a forbidden embrace. A fire roared in a stone hearth, and the air smelled of stew and pine. Buck stomped snow from his boots, his frame even more imposing in the firelight. "Welcome home, Mrs. Harlan," he said, his voice laced with possession.
Eliza shed the coat, her dress sodden. This isn't real. It's survival.
When the storm clears.
It'll be days, maybe weeks, he interrupted, hanging his gun belt by the door. Plenty of time to make it real.
He ladled stew into bowls, his movements surprisingly gentle for such a giant.
As they ate in silence, suspense built like the piling snow. Why her? Why now? She probed subtly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Harlan.
Why no wife before?
His spoon paused midair.
Had one. Sarah. Died in childbirth 5 years back. Bandits raided the ranch while I was out. I hunted 'em down, every last one.
His voice dropped to a growl.
Shot 'em in the gulch. That's how I got the name. Shock rippled through her. A vigilante? Or murderer? The story hung heavy, suspenseful. Was he telling the truth, or hiding more blood on his hands?
That night, Buck gave her the bedroom, sleeping by the fire. But sleep evaded Eliza, the wind's moans echoing her turmoil. Dawn brought no relief, the blizzard intensified, burying the world.
Days melted into a tense routine. Buck chopping wood, Eliza reading from her few books, their conversations laced with undercurrents. He was gruff but kind, sharing tales of cattle drives and Indian skirmishes. Yet, his bold offer loomed, unspoken but ever present. On the third day, a knock shattered the isolation. Buck's hand flew to his revolver as he cracked the door.
A snow-covered figure stumbled in, Deputy Silas Reed, half-frozen.
Buck! Thank God! Town's in panic.
The McCoy gangs holed up nearby, waiting for the storm to pass. They know you're here, might come for revenge. Eliza's blood ran cold.
Revenge? Buck's face darkened.
For what I did to their brothers. The ones who killed Sarah.
Silas eyed Eliza suspiciously. Who's she? My wife, Buck declared boldly, pulling her close. The lie, or was it truth now, sent shivers down her spine. Silas nodded, thawing by the fire. Best stay armed. They're vicious.
As Silas left, promising to return with help, suspense coiled tighter.
Was Buck's offer a shield against outlaws? Or had he trapped her in a war? That night, gunshots echoed in the distance, piercing the storm's wail. Buck barred the door, rifle in hand.
Stay down, he whispered, his giant form a wall between her and danger.
Eliza's heart pounded. Is this why you proposed? To have a witness, or bait?
His eyes met hers, raw with emotion.
No. Because I saw you and knew. You're the light I need after the dark. But doubt festered.
Exploring the cabin while he scouted outside, she found a locked chest under the bed. Prying it open with a hairpin, shock hit her, letters from Sarah, pleading for Buck to stop his violent ways. And a wanted poster, Buck Harlan, accused of murdering the McCoys without trial.
Vigilante or killer? The bold offer now seemed a desperate ploy to ensnare an innocent. Confrontation brewed as the blizzard peaked. Buck returned, snow-caked, with news, tracks near the barn. They're close. He loaded his guns, the clicks ominous. Eliza faced him. I found the poster. You're wanted?
He froze, then sighed, sinking into a chair that creaked under his weight.
It's true. After Sarah, I didn't wait for law. I became the law. But I'm no monster.
The McCoys were devils, rustlers, killers.
I ended it. Suspense hung like gunpowder. Believe him? Or flee into the storm? Before she could decide, the door exploded inward, splintering wood. 3 masked men charged in, guns blazing. Harlan. Time to pay. Chaos erupted.
Buck roared, tackling the first, his fist crunching bone.
Bullets whizzed, shattering a window.
Eliza grabbed a poker from the fire, swinging it at an attacker who lunged for her. The hot iron seared his arm, his scream piercing. Buck shot the second, but the third pinned him, knife raised.
In that suspended moment, Eliza's choice crystallized.
She snatched Buck's fallen revolver, heavy in her hands, and fired. The blast recoiled, the man crumpling.
Shockwaves rippled, she'd killed to save him.
The room fell silent, save for the wind. Buck rose, bloodied but alive, staring at her with awe.
You saved me. Trembling, she dropped the gun. I couldn't let you die. Not after.
He pulled her into his arms, his giant frame enveloping her.
The bold offer, once shocking, now felt like destiny. But as they barred the door again, a new suspense dawned. More McCoys out there? And the law, would they come for Buck, or her now? Days dragged, the blizzard unrelenting.
They bandaged wounds, shared whispers by the fire. Buck opened up, his youth as a Texas Ranger, the betrayal that drove him west. Eliza confessed her own scars, a controlling father, a loveless betrothal. In the isolation, bonds formed, suspenseful glances turning to tentative touches. On the 7th day, a lull in the storm brought riders, not outlaws, but townsfolk led by Silas.
Storm's breakin'.
But McCoys are wiped out, heard the shots.
You folks all right? Buck nodded, arm around Eliza. More than all right.
She's my wife now, for real.
Silas raised a brow. That so? Preacher's comin' with us.
As the group hunkered in the cabin, waiting for full thaw, Eliza pondered the twist. The bold offer, born of storm and desperation, had forged something unbreakable. But whispers among the men hinted at unfinished business, a McCoy survivor vowing vengeance. The thaw came slow, like a reluctant confession.
Snow melted into rivers, revealing the battered land.
Eliza and Buck rode back to town, her on his horse, his arm steady around her. Silver Gulch emerged, drifts piled high, but life-stirring. The schoolhouse stood, a symbol of her original dream.
Yet suspense lingered.
That night, in the saloon where it began, a stranger sidled up.
Heard you hitched the giant. Careful, ma'am. Buck's got enemies that don't die easy.
Her heart jolted.
Was the nightmare over? Or just beginning? Weeks passed, Eliza teaching by day, returning to the ranch by night. Buck's bold offer had blossomed into love, shocking in its intensity. But one evening, as sunset bled red over the mountains, a lone rider approached.
McCoy's kin, scarred and vengeful.
Harlan.
You killed my brothers.
Buck stepped out, rifle ready. It ends here.
The showdown was swift, tense, dust kicking as they circled, hands hovering over holsters. Eliza watched from the porch, breath held. Shots rang out, the rider falling. But Buck clutched his side, blood blooming. She rushed to him, tearing fabric for a bandage.
"You can't keep doing this." He grinned through pain.
"For you, I'd fight the devil himself." As he healed, the town rallied, petitioning the territorial judge to clear Buck's name, vigilante justice forgiven in frontier law. Eliza stood by him in court, her testimony shocking the room. "He saved me from the storm, and I saved him from darkness." Acquitted, they returned to the ranch, the blizzard a distant memory.
But in quiet moments, Eliza wondered if another storm came, what bold offers would fate demand?
Years later, with children laughing in the yard, the tale of the trap teacher and the giant cowboy became legend. Shocking, suspenseful, a reminder that in the Old West, survival often hinged on the boldest risks.
And love?
It was the deadliest adventure of all.